my babies, and welcome back to another video. It's your girl Virgo Garden. If you don't know, now you know. Anything you need to know about little old me will be down below in the description box. You do not have to be a Virgo to watch this video. Alright, y'all, so this is the long-awaited twin flame reading. Not reading, but video that y'all been waiting for. I'm so happy to get this out the way because I don't want to keep carrying this shit with me. Let it go, you know? Alright, so I have not one but two twin flame stories, and I had to write some pinpoints down so I can remember, because y'all, this did happen 2+ years ago, okay? And also I have twin flame notes to help y'all better understand the entire twin flame journey and what it's really about. And before we get into it, quick reminder on the website, okay, we have wax melts to help you with love and healing yourself. We have passion. This one's also an aphrodisiac. This is for the root chakra. It comes in yang and yin scents. We also have success. This comes in yang and yin as well, and this is for the heart chakra. We also have attraction. This is for bringing in the desires of your heart. That comes in a yin and yang scent. And we also have creativity, but we're sold out of creativity right now because apparently Queen Alchemy is poppington, okay? But we do have raw rose quartz, which is the best rose quartz that you can get on the market, on the website, and also tiger's eye, which helps with all of the chakras, that helps with love. So let's go ahead and get into these notes, y'all, because I don't need my camera cutting off. All right, okay, so can we get focused? There we go. Twin flame notes, let's get it. The new earth consciousness raised into the 5th dimension. Okay, what is the 5th dimension? The divine feminine awakes first usually. The divine feminine must raise their vibration and take back their power by digging deep within themselves and heal. This is needed in order to manifest anything. The divine masculine is usually shy and awakens last. That's why he is usually the runner, okay? That's why you do not chase anything. You attract it, because when you chase it, you make it feel scared of the attachment and not being able to detach when it wants to, or that it's going to be drained. So that's why it's running from you, okay? So don't chase nothing. You attract. Now, let's see. For thousands of years, divine feminines have been suppressed and made less of due to the deprogramming and destruction of how women were originally viewed and respected in ancient Egyptian times, aka Africa. The divine masculine must be retaught how to properly honor and respect their divine feminine. Y'all, look, there's a lot of divine feminine, divine masculine in these notes. Work with me, okay? The divine masculine must learn how to properly honor and respect their divine feminine as well as themselves. Jesus and Mary Magdalene were considered twin flames because their mission was to raise love ascension on the earth, okay? So the breakdown, basically the wrap up of all of this is, and the entire mission of the twin flames is, two souls made a contract to be split into two to find each other again in each lifetime, okay, to complete a mission for the betterment of the earth. So what is that? What is that? I don't know, but it needs to go. All right, so now these notes did come from a video that I was sent back in 2016 from my cousin. Y'all will find out about that in one of my twin flame stories that I'm going to tell y'all, okay? Now, let's talk about the earth meeting. This is basically how it happens in the physical room. All right, the earth meeting, reintroduction on the earthly plane, awareness of the connection of body, mind, and spirit, and then the spiritual, emotional, mental, and sacred sexual energy in the physical merging. So basically breaking that down in layman's terms, basically what happens is the reintroduction on the earthly plane. When both of you have passed on from the last lifetime and both of you come back to this lifetime, the first one that touches down, that would be the reintroduction on the earthly plane, okay? Now, the awareness of the connection of the body, mind, and spirit is when the second twin touches down, and then that's when it's set, like, okay, they're both here now, and eventually in divine timing, they will meet. So the third one is spiritual, emotional, mental, sacred sexual energy in the physical merging. That's when you are physically aware of your twin flame. You see your twin flame. You can touch your twin flame, okay? Touch, I said touch. Not all my twin flames halfway across the world. No, they ain't. Boop. No, they're not. Okay? Please. Now, A clear sign your twin flames in your life is your kundalini will awaken. This does not necessarily have to be. Now, the roles are the divine feminine awakens the masculine counterpart. She does spiritual work and she does the cleansing and the clearing. That is your mission, not just for you and your twin or for yourself, but for the entire world. The divine masculine, aka the matrix twin, y'all have a nickname. Y'all do the physical work on a mass scale by encouraging and uplifting humans and enlightening humans as well. It is up to the divine masculine to bring the reunion to the physical realm, meaning you cannot force shit. Yes, I actually wrote that down in my notes. You cannot force shit, okay? The divine masculine is the only one who can say, okay, we're going to activate this in the physical realm. Divine feminine, you cannot activate that for him, meaning you cannot pick your twin flame, okay? Stay with me. I'm going to help clear all this up, all right? You cannot force anyone to make the decision to do the work and go on the journey with you. So even if you do end up running into your twin flame and they decide they don't want to go on this mission, they don't have to. You just going to have to come back and do it next go round. There's also another way that can happen, but that's a little too advanced for right now. We'll talk about that another time, perhaps. Now, let's talk about the twin flame monad. One flame splits into masculine and feminine, okay? So you got one flame and then it splits. So you got divine feminine, you got a divine masculine, okay? It's 144 twin flames in a monad group. There are only 12 monad groups, which means in each 12 of these monad groups, there are only 144 couples of the twin flames. This only comes every 12 years, y'all, okay? Okay? Got it? Good. All right. What is a monad? The creator of the twin flame group, all right? The one flame that splits into a pair, divine feminine and divine masculine. Then it continues to split until there are 144 twin flame pairs in the monad. It just keeps going and keeps splitting, okay? Now, in short, there are only 144,000 that comes every 12 years. Oh, I'm really going to clear it up. Hold on. Crystal, indigo, rainbow, and starseed are some of these groups. Majority of the twin flames will be born after, are you ready for this? 2002, all right? Most of the twin flames in this particular time period will be born after 2002. Does that narrow that down for you? Okay? It is the twin flames that have experienced and completed their journey that will be the ones that need to guide them. So me and my twin flame will eventually be responsible, probably in the next 10 years, for helping somebody else along on their journey, okay? Now, the wrap up. The purpose of this entire mission is to make the world eventually ran by love. The purpose of this entire mission is to make the world eventually ran by love. Orphans. Orphans are the parents of the indigo children. That's where most of the twin flames come from. Now, I have a quick story right there. All right, so when I was very, very deep into my depression, anxiety, being suicidal, I was actually going to come home from work and go to the interstate and sit on the side of the interstate and run out in front of a truck if my father had not picked up the phone, and he did. So we ended up going to go pick up my mama because he was trying to figure out what the hell going on with his daughter and why she trying to go run out in front of a truck, okay? And during that conversation with my parents, they put their differences aside, and I found out that night in the middle of my war, okay, my turmoil and all of that both of my parents are actually psychic, but neither one of them choose to actually use their gifts. Okay, so orphans. All right, are parents of the indigo children. That's where most of the twin flames come from. Walk-ins have been affecting the twin flames horribly to stop the mission or to force one of the twins to give up. Okay, it happens. Period. It happens. Now, this is the most important part, and this is going to help you discover, because some of y'all was like, well, how can I tell a fake reader from a real reader? This really going to help clear it up for you, all right? To my fellow YouTube tarot readers, I ain't sorry. Most important part to help y'all who like to watch twin flame readings on YouTube. Are you ready? There was nothing said about third-party situations. okay? No third parties. There was nothing said in the notes, nothing said in that video, nothing said in the mission about a third party situation. So you watching somebody and they telling you, oh, you're twins in a third party situation, they just collecting a check. Let's move on to the story portion, shall we? Right, ring the bell. Yes. Clear the energy out. All right. Now I need y'all to bear with me on this part, okay? Because the first story happened 4 years ago, so I'm still trying to, like, remember, but I pinpointed the most important parts I remember of that story, all right? Now, the second story happened 2 years ago, so it's still, you know, but I remember real important parts of that particular story because that's going to affect me for the rest of my life. So, twin flame, the real one and the fake one. Let's get it. Now, I did make fake names for my fake twin flame and my real twin flame to protect their identity, because even though me and them both, all three of us need to work on our healing, I'm not going to disrespect them and put their government up here like that, y'all, okay? So, you're not going to know their government name. Let's get started. Twin number 1, all right? His name is Brian, okay? So, I got to read my notes. Hold on. All right. Ooh. All right. So we're going to start with story number 1. We're going to start with the fake twin flame story, because he happened in 2016. Yeah. All right. So I came into my spiritual, the real part of, well, not the real part of my spiritual journey, but I would say I had my spiritual awakening, my real spiritual awakening. In 2015, I woke up and I saw a perfect circle on my wall. So that has always been one of my spiritual symbols. You will learn what your spiritual symbols are when you go further along in your journey if you're serious about this, okay? So I know the circle is one of my spiritual symbols. So I was looking for a job, okay? Seems like I was always looking for a job. My God, I stayed looking for a job, okay? At least I ain't lazy. But I ended up finding a temp job, which is a temporary job, at a warehouse. And at the point in time, I was just really happy to just have a job, okay? I really didn't care about what the work was. They could have said I had to scoop elephant poop. I didn't really care. All right, so I started working at the job, and I got really good. And they actually had some cuts, and I made the layoff cuts. And the person who trained me actually got fired. So everybody knew, like, oh, okay, she's pretty good. So I was kind of popular at work. I mean, I wasn't trying to be, but I mean, I just had that type of personality where I was popular at work. I mean, shit, blame my mom and my dad in my cradle, okay? And me and my fake twin flame, we're going to call him Brian, we used to flirt and stuff, but it never went anywhere because he had a girlfriend. But it was kind of obvious, like, okay, we kind of like each other. Because the conversation was good, his energy was great, he seemed like he was a sweetheart, right? Right. So, fast forward to, I wasn't a manager, but I was an important employee. Let's say that. Okay, I was making what the managers was making, but I was an important employee. It was on the low, though. So I could kind of get away with, like, sneaking off and doing what I wanted to do at work because I worked my ass off. Virgo shit. And I used to talk to my cousin on my lunch breaks. And, I was going to tell y'all her name, but we'll leave that alone, okay? I told y'all about her, though, a little while ago. Don't worry about who it was. But I used to talk to my cousin on my lunch breaks because she used to keep me sane, because I really hated that job. And, like, I was, like, in mental shambles at that job, okay? And I used to talk to her, like, every break. I would call her, or we would, like, be on Facebook Messenger all day. And I ended up telling her, like, yeah, I kind of got a crush on this guy, but he got a girlfriend, so, you know, I ain't gonna go nowhere with it. Because she actually heard me talking to him when I was going back to my locker so I could go back and clock in. She was like, who are you talking to? Because you sound all flirty and stuff. And I told her, she was like, oh my God, he's your twin flame. Twin flame? What? Now, me and this particular cousin, we bonded because we both did card readings. And that's why we used to talk all the time, because we had no one else to really talk to about that at that point in time. Okay? And she was like, oh my God, he's your twin flame. And she sent me this video, which is where I got these notes from that I just read y'all. And she was like, basically trying to explain to me like the entire thing, and it sounded interesting. So I mean, I did go and watch the video. And when I went and watched the video, at the point in time, because I was just so in lust, okay, I was in lust and in bliss at the same time. I was very smitten, y'all. I'm being very 100 with y'all. I am gonna put my life out here, so be very respectful in these comments. I ended up telling him about it, and he was like, so twin flame, that's kind of like a soulmate thing? I was like, yeah. And I was like, I like you. And he was like, I like you too. And the flirtation started getting heavier from there, y'all. We ended up exchanging phone numbers. I didn't do nothing with the man yet, okay? He still had a girlfriend he was living with at the point, but they was breaking up too at the same time. So because of not the original video that my cousin sent me, but the readings after that video she was sent me, because the original video she sent me is really what the twin flame mission is about. But she somehow got distracted and off the journey because she got so caught up with her twin flame. And that really was her twin flame. I didn't think he was, but I found out later when I talked to her, that really was her twin flame. But she got caught up in the YouTube hype too, and she started sending me videos that had nothing to do with what the real twin flame mission was about. And I used to watch them and I would go with it. And this is why I always tell y'all, do your own research. Make sure the person that you're following knows what they're talking about. Make sure you listen to your intuition. You know what I'm saying? Always let your conscience be your guide, Pinocchio. Just saying. And because I didn't, and that's the one time in life I can say I really did not trust myself on something, and I knew I should have, and I knew the person was telling me something wrong. She was saying basically it was okay for me to flirt with him. It was okay for me to try to come on to him, even though he had a girlfriend, but I felt wrong about it. I didn't like the way it felt, y'all, at all. And we used to flirt and text and stuff. And he used to call me when his girlfriend wasn't at home. Like, and I ain't no side type chick, okay? I'm too dope for that. I'm not no side type chick, but I was, because I believed in the twin flame hype. And that's why I came up here to make this video for y'all. So y'all don't be out there doing stupid, reckless stuff, okay? I'm trying to save you now, okay? I'm trying to save. Yeah, so like I said, I ended up telling him about it. We used to flirt and text a little bit, and then it started getting heavier with the flirting and the texting. Like every Saturday, I knew we was going to be having us a long conversation before his girlfriend came home. Like I had a whole schedule with it. Side chick shit, right? Not cool at all, okay? Not cool at all. I'm being 100 with you. And so basically, we ends up at work one day, and I see like these boxes that he's working on, because like I said, I worked at a warehouse, and he was a forklift driver, and he's flipping the boxes for whatever reason. I guess he was trying to flip them to make a certain type of shape with them so they wouldn't be so wide to go in the truck. And every box he flipped had a perfect circle on the bottom of it. So naturally, because I'm young and I'm new to this whole spiritual thing, and I did not do my proper research, I'm like, oh my God, he is my twin flame. So that's when I really started going with it, and I started not feeling so bad about being the side chick. I mean, I was, but that was my way, I guess, of not feeling so guilty about it, y'all. So I ended up telling him about, like, yo, you got circles on the bottom of all of your boxes. And when he came into the truck, because he came into one of my trucks that I was verifying, and he came into the truck, and I told him about it. He was like, what, really? He was like, I just want to hug you so bad. And he still had the boxes on his forklift, so no one, if we stood in front of the boxes, no one outside that door could see us. So we stood behind the boxes and we hugged. And when I tell y'all, that was one of the best hugs in my life. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That energy was so strong. And because neither one of us had ever felt a hug like that, we thought it was a hug, meaning like our energies were merging, but it was more passion, y'all. It was not the real twin flame thing, okay? It was passion, but that energy was so strong. But it was the lust and the passion and just everything all at once. Like just the excitement of, oh, we're doing something we're not supposed to be doing. That's what it really was, y'all. And that's why a lot of people get excited about the twin flame thing, because it feels exciting, because you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing, and you're feeling like this is the person you're really supposed to be with, and you're holding on to a false hope that really, y'all, really isn't there. Okay, so eventually, like, you know, it went on for a few months. Me and my cousin talking on the phone during lunch breaks and stuff, and me and him flirting and stuff, and he ended up getting fired, and I ended up getting fired, like, I think, like, not even a whole month behind him. Okay, and basically, like, after he got fired and I was still working, like, everything was cool still, and he ended up breaking up with his girlfriend, and he broke up with his girlfriend, and he moved into his sister's crib, and then that's when he told me I could come over, and y'all already know we did what it did, and it was good. I'm not gonna lie, it was good. It was good. It was alright. It was alright. It was alright. It won't good, but it was decent though. It was enough to get me excited. It was decent. But he was like, he felt magic, but I still felt so bad, because I'm like, you still love your girlfriend though. Even though y'all broke up, you still love your girlfriend, you know? So like, I wasn't comfortable with y'all still. So that went on for a little while. We was basically fuck buddies. That's all it really was. We was basically fuck buddies, and he kind of started falling off some, because he thinking about how he ain't got no money, and then I got fired. So I mean, I'm focused on how I ain't got no money now. So we ended up drifting apart, but we ended up drifting apart because he was still dealing with his ex-girlfriend. He still had feelings for her, and that's why I say, when you break up with someone, you need time to yourself. Or if you're gonna deal with someone and they tell you they just got a relationship, you need to not take that person serious. You need to let them go through whatever they need to go through and process those feelings and emotions, so you ain't got to deal with it. And I ended up dealing with all of the, basically the garbage left over from that relationship, because I was the person he was dealing with right after. And yeah, so basically, y'all, we ended up breaking up, not talking, and I wrote a song about him and posted it on Facebook, and this was in 2016 when the Monica So Gone challenge was out. Yeah, and that was popping. Yeah, shorty went in. Okay, I feel like that song was about me, and I was like, yeah, it was. And he was like, oh man, but he still be trying to holler, y'all, but I cut him off, because I'm like, he's just really not worth it. He just really was not worth it, y'all. So let's go ahead and move on to story number 2 before the camera cuts off. Let's talk about the real twin flame, shall we? We're gonna call him Paul. All right, so naturally, after the bullshit that I went through with the 2016 situation with the fake twin flame, I was completely over the twin flame thing. I'm like, that shit ain't real. Okay, that shit ain't real. Fuck it ain't real. And I was over it. So I was really working on, like, my healing and fighting depression and stuff, and trying to figure out, like, where my place is in life and what it is I really wanted to do. And somebody I used to go to school with, I didn't know him, and he was really popular, and everybody else knew who he was. I didn't know who he was. He wasn't nobody to me, okay? He wasn't nobody to me. But he was a part of this group that I have on Facebook for, like, poets, videographers, photographers, musicians, singers, all of that, right? Like, people in the creative arts, basically, performing arts industry. So he does different things. Like, he's a musician, and he does a few different things, and he's really good at what he does. Okay, so he was added into the group, and I didn't know the man had a crush on me. And one day, just out of the blue, he wrote a poem about me, and everybody knew it was about me. So I responded back, and he was like, damn. He was like, you just Meek Milled me. He was like, 'cause that's when Drake and Meek Mill was beefing too. He was like, you just Meek Milled me. He was like, I ain't have no chance. I'm never posting in here again. And it was kind of a little bit of flirtation. And he inboxed me a couple times after that. And we was just talking about, like, Charlemagne the God's book. Or we ended up talking about something else too. Or about music. I sent him one of my tracks, and he said he actually liked it, and he wanted to work together one day. Mind you, I was not attracted to the man at this point in time, wasn't even thinking about it. Now, I asked my ex-best friend, I was like, do you know who this person is? And she was like, yeah, he was really popular in school. He was really sweet. He was quiet. He's really good at what he does. You should work with him. I was like, all right, fine, cool. Fast forward to not even a whole year later. I would say about maybe 9-10 months later. It's Valentine's Day, right? And guess who inboxes me? My twin flame, flirting and stuff. And he was supposed to be going to a bar with his friends, and he's like, he got a whole bunch of yes men around him, and I ain't no yes man type person, okay? And he got a whole bunch of yes men around him, and he's literally sitting in the car with his friends outside of the bar, and they're waiting for him to get off the phone with me. And we was on the phone for like 45 minutes to an hour the first time, and he ended up calling me back while he was in the bar, because he was like, I'm bored. So he was like, basically he wanted to get my phone number, because I called him on Facebook Messenger, and I was interviewing him, because that's what he called it. I'm asking a whole bunch of questions. How many kids do you have? How many baby mamas do you have? What is your goals in 5 years, sir? Okay, I need to know. Okay, I'm not wasting my time. I need to know. And he was like, oh, I enjoyed our little interview. And I gave him my phone number, and it took us a while to kind of pick up. And then it started picking up, because he was like, I really enjoyed our conversation. He was like, I keep thinking about you, basically. So we ended up having a conversation about like our childhood. We found out we have a lot in common. Like, we both have short-term memory. We both have some of the same like ethnic background traces or whatever it's called, y'all. And it's like, this is not normal. I don't really be running into people with short-term memory and people who like have this in their ancestry background and stuff like I do. And he was like, yeah, I know, that is weird, huh? And it's like, it was just always a vibe with us. And I ended up telling him I do card readings and stuff, and he was actually interested in it. He was like, oh, so you're like a gypsy? I was like, yeah, kind of, sort of, something like that. But we ended up flirting and stuff, and then we ended up talking on the phone for 2 weeks straight. I mean, every day, all day long, from the time we woke up to one of us fell asleep. Usually it was him, because I would end up hanging up on him, because I'm like, okay, I can't go to sleep listening to you snoring in my ear like this. So it usually was him that would fall asleep, and it was really fun in the beginning, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, it was like so beautiful. It was so blissful. But things started changing. So we had not met yet, right? So I was headed to my homegirl's house one day, and I went through his neighborhood, because it's my old neighborhood, and I went through his neighborhood to get to her house, and I just randomly texted him like, oh, I'm going past your house. But he didn't see it till like an hour later. I'm like, what were you doing? Okay. But when he saw it, he was like, what? Huh? So I was out when he saw it in my car. Like, when it's hooked up to Bluetooth, it texts the person back, be like, I'm driving, to let them know I'm driving. I can't text you right now. And he was like, tell your car, shut up. And I was like, whatever. And we ended up talking junk back and forth to each other. And I told my homegirl, I was like, can I go see him right quick? I just want to go get a hug. She was like, oh, he could come back to the house. So he said he wanted to come, and he did. And we ended up, well, first let me tell you about me picking him up. So I went to go pick him up, and I was nervous, and I could tell he was nervous too, the way that he came around the car. And I get out the car, and we looked each other in the eyes, and then we just hugged. And when I say when we hugged, it did not feel like we was hugging for the first time. It felt like we always used to hug. Like, we known each other for years. And it's funny, because he actually told me that on the phone. He was like, have you ever felt like you known someone before, even though you haven't ever met? And that was him recognizing me as his twin flame, y'all. So he ends up going back to my homegirl's house. We end up having some real good conversation with her and her boyfriend. And it just started growing from there. We started spending more time together and stuff. And then Dum Dum gets arrested, okay? Because he was supposed to be coming over my house. And that was the night I was like, oh, I'm gonna get some. Put on the red lace and everything, right? He did not respond back. I felt like something was wrong. Mind you, this was on a Saturday, okay? And all day Sunday, he was not responding back. And I'm like, something is wrong. But I felt like I was hearing him talk to me telepathically. And he was basically telling me that he was in jail, and that he's sorry, and he don't want me to be mad at him, and that he cares about me. So I go all day Sunday, and I'm mad at him. I go all day Monday, and I keep feeling this nagging feeling, like, check to see if he's in jail. So I go on the website to go check. But before I did, I seen a YouTube video with him and his baby mama in the car, and she's whooping his ass. And I'm like, didn't I tell you I don't want no drama-filled female? Like, what is this? Okay? So basically, y'all, I go look on the website, though, and I see that he was in jail. And right after I found out, it was like probably 45 minutes after I found out, he inboxed me. And he had got released apparently like earlier that Monday, but he didn't have a phone. And he was like, do you want to come see me? And I was like, yeah. And I go see him, and I let him go through all the torture, because he knew I said I don't want no jailbird. So he was scared to tell me he got locked up. And I let him go through all the torture of thinking that, like, I was mad at him or whatever, and I really wasn't. And he was done telling me, and I was like, yeah, I knew that you went to jail. And then I was like, I told him, I was like, I thought I heard you talking to me. He said I was. And when he told me what time Sunday he was talking to me, that's the time I looked at the clock. I was like, do I hear him? Mind you, he's not a spiritual person, okay? So he was also during that conversation of us talking about him getting locked up, I also found out he was talking to someone else, and he made me cry. And he didn't know he made me cry, but he knew I was hurt though. So he ends up coming back to my house, and we fall asleep and stuff. And he must have still felt bad about it, because he hit me up the next day, and he knew like I wanted to get back into doing poetry and music and stuff. And like I said, he's a musician, and he owns studio equipment. And he hit me up the next night, and he was like, what are you doing? I'm coming over with a microphone. And that was our mission, y'all, because him coming over to record me pushed me back into being confident to go back in the studio, or to go back and perform again, or to just continue my mission, because that's my real gift, is writing. And that's both of our real gifts. It's like music and writing. Like, we're both scribes, and that's our gift to the world. So I am so grateful for him for that. But I mean, it did get ugly after that, because I ended up going to California, and when I was out in California, that's when we started splitting apart. And I did not know I was pregnant. And yeah, so like from April to June, like we just started splitting apart, and I ended up having a miscarriage. And I told him in November, and he came over to record me, and we really just had a moment. But my high priestess told me to stay away from the man, and I listened to everything my high priestess told me to do. And I ended up working with him last year, and like my high priestess told me to stay away from him, y'all. That man tried to give me a lifelong illness, okay? But I listened to my intuition, and I caught it. And I was like, wait, something don't feel right. I'm not going to do this with you. And I'm glad I didn't, because I found out that man has a lifelong illness. I don't wish no bad on him, but don't give it to me, though, okay? And that's something I don't play and joke about either, because that really fucks up people's lives. And for him to be that selfish to try to do that to me, that's why you cannot love somebody more than you love yourselves, babies. Okay, so let me make sure I covered all of the notes. Oh yes, also when I went to go work with him last year, we recorded the song about me having the miscarriage of our child, and also we recorded She's King, the intro to Mercurial Soul. So he helped me fulfill my mission, y'all. But yeah, I had to pretty much cut him off because he wasn't doing right. So y'all, this is basically my twin flame story. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Please do not put someone else before yourself. Make sure you respect and you love yourself, okay? The twin flame thing is about a mission that you're supposed to be giving back to the world and helping raising the vibration of love. It is not about romantic love. 9 out of 10 twin flames don't even end up together or stay together in this lifetime, y'all, and that's just the reality of it. Quick reminder, on the website, we have great, amazing products. I'm your girl, Virgo Garden. If you didn't know that, I bet you know it now. Check the description box. I love you, baby.